Hello, my loves, and welcome to Create Your Life. My name is Simone Leah, and I'm your host. And I'm so excited to be with you guys here today and talking to you guys about what it is that you can outsource as a soul-led entrepreneur. I know that when you're trying to grow your business and you're half a business person, wanting to do all the business things, create a legacy, create something that really touches people's lives, but you're also soul-led and coming from the heart, that it's sometimes a little bit hard to know what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, bridging that gap between business and spirituality and trying to find that balance point that works for you so that you're still creating something that means something to you, but you've also got your business systems in check. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys today and help you guys to get an understanding of some of the things that you can outsource as a soul-led entrepreneur. So let's jump right on into this. How to know what you should be outsourcing as a soul-led entrepreneur. And someone who wants to, keep the integrity of their business, keep helping people, keep shining their light. But in order to grow that you really do have to start outsourcing. And you know that if you keep doing all the things you're doing, you're going to burn out and you're not going to be able to help as many people. You're not going to be able to serve as many people. So really figuring out what you can outsource is so important. It's going to make your life so much easier. So what can you outsource? What can you release the reins of? What are the sort of things that you can outsource without even thinking about it? So when you're building your systems, you want to be thinking about outsourcing the repetitive tasks, the things that are going to be exactly the same every single day or every single month or every single week, or the things that you have done many times in your business that are easy to systemize. So for example, with my podcast, that involves editing audios. That's really something that's quite easy to outsource because the process with that is exactly the same. They get the audio, they clean the audio, they add the intro and the outro to the audio. Then obviously the audio gets checked. And then, you need to upload the audio, that sort of thing. But it's quite easy once someone's been trained to be able to outsource that process. The same thing goes with video editing. If you're editing standard videos that are fairly similar all the time. So something like an interview, you're always going to edit that the same way. So that's something that's also really easy to outsource. Things like that are just repetitive, things that are just really simple and repetitive are the things that you want to outsource first, the things that you will need to do quality control over, but that it's not going to feel like the integrity of the brand is in question. So things that you wouldn't outsource is actually filming the videos or filming the podcast episodes or recording the podcast episodes. You're not going to outsource that. Another thing you could outsource is if you have guests on your show, whatever sort of show that is, you could outsource the list of people to interview. So you could literally say to someone, so this is more of like outsourcing data entry and information finding and list building, okay? So if you wanted to outsource that sort of thing, it could look like saying to someone, I would love you to come back to me with a list of 100 people who are in this niche that I could interview. And then they'll come back to you with that. And I would set the parameters, obviously, of having, I want their Facebook, I want their email address, I want their Instagram, I want you to put on there how many followers they have, how many of this, how many of that, and really build that list out of the parameters around the data you would like found for you, the data entry you would like created, so that you can outsource that task with an amazing result. And then once you get that list of 100, you might cut that down to 45 that are you would like to interview, like that are in your target. That's what you want, so you may cut that list in half, but at the same time, by outsourcing that task, you may have just saved yourself 3 hours because the research has been done for you and all you're having to do is have a look at that. And the same thing can be done with different topics. So if you wanted to talk about different topics, but you don't know which topics are going to align with your audience, you could get someone to write a list, literally look at, using keyword research, a list of topics that will do really well on podcasts or on YouTube. Or if you're wanting to look at a book, writing a book, you could look at a list of topics of names for books or any sort of information. You could get someone to write you a list on 100 different blog post ideas, for your target market. And then by the time they've written that list, you've saved 3 or 4 hours. And you're just spending an hour just checking that list and keeping in alignment with the things that are in alignment for you. Okay, so there's some super easy things that you can outsource that you're not going to lose control of your business, your message, your branding over, because of the fact that you've got someone who's helping you with the time-consuming parts of the process, but who's not going to affect what you actually put out. Now, a big one for this is knowing what to outsource when it comes to your social media. So obviously your social media is the face of your business. So you don't want to be outsourcing this and losing control over it. And that also obviously goes the same for if you're video editing or podcast editing. You do want to actually check the quality of the product before it goes live to make sure that it is still how you want it. But when it comes to social media, you really want to make sure that you are the face, the brand. What you're putting out there is what needs to be in alignment with you. So outsourcing the content creation on this can be a little bit more challenging. What I would do is if you have longer clips like podcasts and YouTube channels, I would get that information, those pieces of content, and outsource them into smaller pieces of content. Get someone to turn them into little micro pieces of content, whether that be carousel posts, whether that be little video clips and reels, that sort of thing. You can outsource that sort of stuff quite easily and check it. And when it comes to doing carousels and things that need to have a certain format and look, you do need to set what that format and that look looks like. And if you're using carousels, something like Canva, you can really easily make some great templates for that person that you're outsourcing to. You can easily make great templates for them to be able to upload that information once you've checked it into Canva and create something beautiful from there, something that fits your brand guidelines, something that works. And so I would highly recommend when it is coming to outsourcing to create templates. Create templates, create a way that people are supposed to work for you, a workflow. Create that workflow for if you're outsourcing your podcast editing. Create that workflow for if you're outsourcing your video editing. Create that workflow for if they're supposed to be looking at and finding topics for you or finding guest speakers for you. Create that workflow that you would like them to work through so that they can get you the best result that you want that is still in alignment with you. But obviously, this is so much more important when it comes to the physical aspects of the business of what people will see. So creating that template in Canva and then sharing that template is going to make your life a lot easier. Now, you are still obviously going to have to check this work once they've done it and make sure that, check for things like spelling and the alignment of the words and that sort of thing. But some things that are really, really easy posts-wise for you to outsource are things like quotes posts and, posts that have infographics on them, carousel posts teaching people about things, daily inspiration posts, what are you grateful for posts. A lot of those sort of posts are super, super easy for you to outsource the creation of. And it won't take you that long to check them, especially if you use something like Canva where they can make 20 or 30 of those posts and you can just go through and delete the ones you don't like, edit the ones you do like to be in alignment completely. Obviously you'll have your template there. So they should be 95% done by the time you see them. But outsourcing those sort of things, it really will help to keep the integrity of your brand, but give you back your time. I really wanted to go into just the sort of things you can outsource, but I do want to also talk to you about the system that it's going to take to run this, because I think it's so important. So I would not overcomplicate your systems, but I would definitely have a system. So checking in with your staff at least once a week for half an hour is probably a minimum, I would say, definitely 100% sure. Just a minimum, especially if it is something, a big task like social media management or engagement or something along those lines. I probably should mention you can also outsource your social media engagement. But those sort of things, you do still want to be checking in with your staff members. Now, when they've been with you for a little while and it's something like podcast editing, you may only need to check in with them once a week for 15, 20 minutes, just check the team's going okay. It might not be that hard. But if someone's actually managing your social media and doing a lot of work for you, then you are going to want to be really paying attention to that and looking after that. And if you are at a level where you're having someone who's managing other people, so for example, if you were to get someone who's literally underneath you, but managing the operations of the social media or managing the operations of the day, like managing your teams, then you would want to be checking in with them for longer. So if I was outsourcing to someone who was managing my actual teams, I'd be wanting to check in with that person twice a week for at least half an hour, if not an hour, depending on the size of the teams and what was actually happening. And if I was wanting to have someone who completely managed my social media, I would definitely be checking in with them every second day, because you want to make sure that the content that they're making and the stuff that they're creating is actually what you want. And by checking in with them on a more regular basis, the quality of the work's going to go up, but they're also going to feel so much more supported. And that is another thing I'd like to speak to, is that when you are outsourcing to a team as a sole-led entrepreneur, you want people who feel attached to you, who feel attached to your mission and attached to what you're trying to do. And so by making sure that you're checking in with them and helping them to feel safe and supported and secure in what they're doing, helping them to feel like they're being heard, helping them to feel like they're being seen, that's going to help you to cultivate a really nice culture in your business and help your business to be able to really stand out, because the people in your business really want to be there and they really align with you as a human, and they're going to be there for you and they're going to support you. Because it's one thing to be a business owner, but you really want to be supported in your business as well when you're outsourcing and growing your business. And especially as a sole-led entrepreneur, you're generally wanting to create something with your soul. So you're wanting to align your team as well and have a really beautifully aligned soul team. You're going to want to enjoy who you're working with. So creating that beautiful culture where they love working with you is so, so, so important. Guys, I feel like I've told you 100 things that are amazing, and I want to keep going, but I don't want to like overdo it. So I'm going to leave it here today, but I really hope you guys can see some of the things that you can quite easily outsource, quite easily, to help give you back your time, to take a step back, that you can create systems around, that you can help people move forward in things that you can help your team to move forward with in an easy way that's aligned for all of you, but doesn't require micromanaging really, that doesn't require micromanaging, but does still require some managing on your part, but it will free your time up so much and allow you to keep doing the beautiful things you want to do as a sole-led entrepreneur, and allow you to keep touching the lives you want to touch, because that's the main thing, isn't it? We're all here being sole-led entrepreneurs because we have something to share. So getting caught up in the daily admin of the business and the daily repetitive tasks of the business is not really what we're here for. So I really hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I really, really hope that you've learned something, that you've seen some things that you can outsource in your business quite easily. And I hope that this has just sparked something in you to help you to grow and put systems in place to help your business grow. Anyway, guys, I've really loved being with you here today, and I'm super excited to connect with you again. So please drop me a hello, say hi, share the video, tell me what your thoughts are, and feel free to share this video with someone else who needs some of these ideas as well. I look forward to connecting with you guys again soon.